What's up, everyone, and welcome to ClearTalk. It is fire pit time again. And in this video, we're going to be talking about something that I honestly didn't think I'd really have to talk about again, but here we are. We're going to talk about the reflection pool again, because this reflection pool debacle has turned into funny enough, silly enough actually, to be like an ironic representation of this administration, and it is turned into just quite a pathetic sight. So we are going to talk about this. So welcome to the channel. Welcome. If you'd like to check out more from the channel or check out any of my other channels, descriptions, links, and everything are down in the description. If you would like to check out merch, check out Patreon to go, to support further, you can do that as well. You can get discount on the merch by becoming a Patreon member. Patreon to support any of the channels. Any support you give is very much appreciated, and I thank you very much. Everything's down in the description below, so check all that out. And then if you are returning, you're freaking amazing. Okay, so welcome back. All right, so the reflection pool. Again, this has become basically an ironic, like I said, representation of this administration to create a problem or claim that there's a problem, claim that you're going to fix it in a way that looks like you're doing corrupt deals to do so. Then when your so-called fix completely fails, you try to blame everybody else but your fix for the failure. And it's just a continuous cycle. It's a continuous cycle through everything that they've done. And it's sad at this point. It's truly sad at this point. So what we know with the reflection pool, okay, so Trump in the administration, they make a claim, he wants to beautify, all these memorials and monuments and all this stuff in Washington, because it's all been neglected for so long, and he just wants to do all this beautification. And the reflecting pool was on that list. Even though we know the reflecting pool has had issues for years now, it has to go through a cleaning regimen every year, because it's basically just standing water that with a very minimal filtration system that hasn't really worked properly in years. Even though there have been attempts to fix it, it's just, in order to do so, in my opinion, you would have to completely redo this thing. With a more modern, up-to-date, like massive system, because it's a massive body of water with very minimal filtration. But it's also meant to be a place, it's supposed to be more of a natural, like, existence, right? It's supposed to be, even though it's man-made, it's not supposed to be a pool, okay? It's not supposed to be something that is considered like swimmable or something. But Trump, because it has the name pool in it, apparently Trump thinks it needs to be like a pool. It's the reason why he's obsessed with posting all the pictures when it's scummy of the Democratic leadership and stuff swimming in the scum or whatever, and when it's clean, his leadership swimming in the cleanliness of it and all this. It's that part is just absolutely ridiculous. But nevertheless, let's just forget that for a moment. So they go through a process that normally we do not do. A no-bid process. Normally when any kind of federal project happens, you do a bidding process to try to, have people, like in a democracy, you have people work, do a bid. It goes to multiple locations or bidders, to give the best deal, and hopefully do the best job or whatever. Like, this is the way we normally do it. But no, Trump and the administration, like multiple projects now, have done a no bid order where they just hire somebody, typically typically somebody that Trump knows, a buddy, a friend, to hire and do the project, because he has so many connections and they do so great a job. He has the best people in the world. They put a ridiculous timeline on this so-called fix, pressuring these people to get a job done in a timeline that, you know, regularly would not be considered reasonable, to the degree that this company and these people would have done a good job. They were rushed to do the job, and it shows. It has shown. So since there were questions brought up during the entire process as they were spraying this liner down, there were questions in how good it was. There were questions in the coloration of it. There were questions all over the place. But when it first came up, you know, it looked like it's supposed to. Clean water comes up, or clean-ish water anyways. The reflection was there, like it was going to be anyways, like it is even when it's dirty, because that's what water does. It fucking reflects regardless. But never mind. And again, I've already made the argument before that this, in my opinion, what they were trying to do here was trying to hide. They knew the issue was not technically going to be fixed, but because the bottom was concrete, which is a light color, right, light silvery gray color, you could see the reflection pool is not that deep either. You can see through the water. And so I think in their mind they were thinking, okay, let's make this as dark as possible, so that it would make it harder for you to see through the water, so it would be harder to see the dirt, algae, scum that comes up. So, you know, yes, we will continue to clean it, but it will make it harder to see. So this reason why, even though they went with the blue, it was the darkest fucking blue they could possibly come up with. And they needed the blue so that they could sell this to all their patriot followers, to all the MAGA, you know, to make them feel patriotic. Oh, we did something in American flag blue. How American of us. It's all bullshit. All of that was just bullshit propaganda for it. But now, it was mere days after that, you know, the algae, we've reported on this, days after that algae was just all consuming throughout this water. And they had crews out there pouring hydrogen peroxide in it to try to kill the algae. But then shortly after, it was noticed that parts of this liner that they sprayed down was peeling up. Okay? And that brought into a lot of questions there, because the peroxide, yes, people were questioning the peroxide, then it's pretty much like oh yes, but hydrogen peroxide does have a killing agent to, I mean, it is used to kill algae. But it also could be used to as a kind of paint thinner, or something that can that will cause problems for things that adhere and things like that. And so there's question now of the peroxide having a negative effect, although it may have killed sections of the algae around the outer borders anyways, of the water. But it potentially has caused a reaction of where the liner is starting to pill up. Now, it may not have anything to do with peroxide. It could just be pilling up because it was rushed to begin with and didn't have a reasonable amount of time to adhere and dry before they filled it back up, because you're trying to rush the project. Either way, now you have sections of this liner pilling up, and that has caused, I mean, you've continuously brought more and more people and more attention with every step of this project to this pool, to this reflection pool. bringing more and more media, more and more attention, more and more headlines, and you're just continuously adding on to that, because now Trump comes out stating, oh, all of this problem is because of vandalism. The Republican Party, this administration, is coming out to say that leftist vandalists have vandalized the water. They're touching the water, and they're putting things in the water, and they're cutting the water. I'm sorry, they're cutting the liner. I thought that would be funny, but using blades or knives or something, and they're getting in the water and they're cutting this liner that, if we're not mistaken, Trump previously said could not be cut. Because if we remember, Trump, before filling this pool back up with water, Trump ran his motorcade through the reflection pool as a publicity stunt on, I can only assume how strong this material is and how well it was done, because we could even run our motorcade over it and it doesn't do any damage to it. I can only assume that was why they did that. But now that even has to be brought into question. Did you actually cause damage to this? And, potentially, and that's why it does. That's why this stuff is peeling back up. But also, Trump made the argument that it was so strong that you could even use a knife on it and it would not cut through the liner. That was his argument in a press conference once before. It was so strong, you could even use a knife, and hey, I don't want to give any ideas, but you could use a knife. You could use a knife and it wouldn't even cut it. It's so strong. Yet now that it is peeling up, his argument is that it has been cut. That vandalizers have gotten into the pool, a pool that is highly surveilled with cameras and surveillance all around, all the time. Somehow somebody got in this pool and not only just cut the liner, not just a little small slit or here and no, that they cut potentially 250, the number has been anywhere from 250 to 350 feet. 250 to 350 feet of the liner with a knife. That is the argument that Trump is making now as to why this stuff is peeling up. Yet there's been no evidence of that happening. 250 to 350-ish feet, somebody cut, got into the pool and walked down the pool with a knife, just cutting away at it. Put a slit in it, and that is what's called. And when asked of evidence of this, Trump's like, the evidence is clear. It's there. There's a 250, 290, 350 slit. That's the evidence. There's a slit in it. Can't you see it? There's a slit in it. Because they have no evidence. And now they have put the National Guard around to add in security for this reflecting pool to prevent vandalizers from vandalizing the pool 24/7. They've made quote-unquote arrests of 5 or more people for vandalizing the pool. The only public arrest so far I've seen, like publicly released arrest, was somebody that was arrested for quote-unquote vandalizing because they pulled a piece of this liner that was just floating in the water. They pulled it up. They ripped it, tore it, the rest of it off, so that it wouldn't just be floating in the water. And they were arrested for vandalism. this is an example. This is an example. The irony of all of this is an example of this administration. Claiming that there's a problem that you need to fix. Fixing the problem in the most corrupt and ridiculous, absurd way that looks completely half-assed. Then when the problem or the fix fails, you blame everybody else but your fucking self for actually not fixing the problem and creating an even bigger problem. That is this administration over and over and over and over again. And this reflecting poll debacle is the most blatant, open, like, example of that. Because you rushed a cheap ass fix to a problem that actually needed a deeper solution for. Costing millions of dollars, more than what you even originally stated, like 10 times more what you originally stated it was going to cost. To fix a problem that clearly within days proved to not fix the problem. And to create an even larger problem. That now you have to bring this crew back in, drain this pool again, and make additional repairs to your repairs. Make repairs to your repairs. That now these people have to work. They were rushed to do a job. Now they have to do it at no cost because you're claiming it was under warranty, and so you had to do it. Now they have to do it again. And you're more than likely going to rush them through it again so that it can be beautiful for the 4th of July celebration that you're trying to put on, because that was the whole point, for it to be beautiful for the 4th of July, for the 250th anniversary. Again, half-assing a quote-unquote fix just for you to look good for a publicity stunt that ultimately is going to have to be fixed again. Hopefully the correct way, and in order to do so is going to cost even more money. You've just wasted taxpayer money on a fix that we all knew was going to be temporary. We all knew was not going to actually work. I mean, it was blatantly obvious that this was not going to work. While making the argument that you're doing a fix that was so much cheaper than previous fixes that they did not fix the problem, but yet at least their fixes lasted longer than 4 days. Their quote-unquote fixes lasted longer than 4 days. I mean, what else is there to say? What else is there to say? This is going to be just an added stain on the quote-unquote legacy of Trump 2.0. And it's laughable. It's all laughable. You get what you pay for. You get what you voted for. You get what you get when you have a con man running things. It just shows over and over, whether we're talking about the reflection pool or this war or tariffs or fucking pardons. A con man's gonna con. All of this has been a con. This whole administration has been a con. And oh my gosh, we just want it to be over. We just want it to be over. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. And we just got to see. We just got to see what I mean, the silliness, the patheticness, the jokes just keep coming when it comes to this administration. It's just ridiculous at this point. So I'm here for it. Thank you very much for joining me, and until next time, peace. ClearTalk, I'm out.